Hello, my name is Don and welcome to episode 10 of my Football Manager Let's Play with Blackburn Rovers. A couple of things that I need to sort of go through quickly just before we get into the episode. Basically, I started recording this episode last night and about 20 minutes into the recording, my graphics card failed. I hadn't even got into the match at that point. We're doing the first match against Sheffield Wednesday, so there is quite a bit to cover. Staff changes, obviously transfer because it's the first episode of the season and whatnot. I also need to apologise because I'm using an on-board graphics card because my graphics card has failed. I don't know if it's going to affect quality too much. If it does, I can only apologise. I can't even check because usually I've run a dual monitor system because I'm using on board. I can't, so it's a bit frustrating. It's frustrating for me as it is for you guys if there's a quality issue. Believe me, I do apologise. There's nothing I can do about it until I can get a new graphics card. I'm not sure when that'll be. It does also push back some plan for channel upgrades, for example the camera and the green screen I was planning on getting. That's now got to be pushed back because the money I hadn't saved up for that I need to now put into getting a new graphics card because it's obviously much more important. So let's get into the episode. So if I go into transfers instead of training, actually before I even go into these, right, I'll leave them on the screen so you can have a quick run through if you like. There's quite a lot going out and quite a few coming in. We've done quite a lot of business. As you see, we've got most of our business done early and one late signing. There's a reason for that, as I'll explain as I go through. But yeah, because of yesterday's episode being up late, that was episode 9, this one's probably going to be up late now as well. I've managed to get 2 tutorials recorded before my graphics card failed. One of them affects this series, one of them I just used this series to sort of highlight. And it's not anything major, it's just discussing transfers and how to maybe manipulate the market to benefit you. Overall, I hope you enjoy both of them. They're going to come out over the weekend, but that's just sort of my way of apologising for the lateness of the videos. So let's get in. So Elliot Ward went on a free to Plymouth. We're paying 3.1k of his wages. Every time that I went and there was a defender injury, a defender suspension, I'd look at him and I'm like, who is this guy? Never, and I would never remember about him. We're paying him 10 grand a week to be literally the forgotten man. Nonetheless, he's away. We got rid of him. Craig Conway is away to Wigan for 650k. Daniel Butterworth away to Swansea. He was our third choice striker last season, but he was never going to develop into a player that was going to be good enough for the team. I should have put on a sell-on clause. I forgot about it. My fault. Entirely, really. But we picked up 40k for him. Anthony Stokes is away to Hearts. We were trying to get rid of him all last season, but eventually got rid of him. Ryan Nyambe is away to Plymouth for 250k. He's a player who I thought could develop into a really good player, but he lacks so much. Well, he's good physically and decent mentally. He can't cross and he can't dribble, and that is two things that I required in a fullback. So it's not good. Liam Feeney's away to MK Dons for 170k. That triggered their loan agreement. Diakate is away to Rangers for 100k. Andy Jackson out on loan to Accrington. Adam Henley's away to Wholesale for 200k. Willem Tomlinson is away to Shrewsbury for 125k. I think there was some add-ons here as well. A sell-on fee. Jason Lowe is away on loan to Reading for 65k per month. I didn't realise his contract expires at the end of the season, but hopefully the AI makes a mistake and they trigger this optional fee of 2.5 million. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Cal Henry was released. Matthew Knox is away on loan to Accrington. Gordon Giroux retired. Danny Guthrie is away on a free. Josh Askew and Ryan Hogarth are youth players that were never going to be good enough. Elliot Bennett is away to Huddersfield for 1.1 million, rising to 1.5 million. I'm just going to move my mic, so I apologise if there's a thing, a sound there. He's a player who I was debating keeping, but I think we've brought in better guys that are more natural wing backs. And Aston Villa came in quite early in the window for him, and he said he wanted to go. I said 1.8 million. Aston Villa never materialised with another bid. And that sort of increased his value a little bit for us, which helped us out. I'd probably have sold him for about 800k otherwise. Scott Warburton's on loan to Wharton even is on loan to Southend in League One. Stefan Mbe, a player we brought in last season for 110k with a 30% sell on profit, is sold for 130k. Corey Evans is away for 51k a month, and he has a compulsory sell-on fee of 1.7 million. It's slightly less than what I wanted it to be, but with the monthly fees, it probably tallies it up, and it gets him off the wage bill again, which in reality is, I'm happy to do. Oliver Davies, the goalkeeper, we brought in, is away for 7k. Carter and Benteke on loan at Morecambe and Wrexham respectively. Patrick Hoekstra, didn't really want to sell this lad. He's one of the 5-star youth players we got at the end of last season in our youth thingy. I was retraining him as a central midfielder. Doesn't really suit our system. You can't tackle, so you can't play wing back, and he can't really cross or dribble yet. You'll probably get that. So he's been sold on. We've got 50% sell-on fee and a fair decent bit of money that I thought was fair enough, so I'll let him go. This lad we brought in, I'll go through it. He was released by a Premiership club. I scouted all the Premiership releases and I signed 3, I think. He was one of them, and he's out on loan in Notts County. Lewis Dotterhay we brought in from St Mirren, a young player, decent potential, is out on loan to Clyde. Jack Doyle away on loan to Exeter. Matthew Platt and Connor Thompson also out on loan. Derek Williams away to Nottingham Forest for 250k. Ethan Hamilton away on loan to Barnet. Travis out on loan. Costello out on loan. Charlie Mulgrew, didn't really want to sell him, but at the same time we brought in a lot of defenders, as we'll go through in a minute, and Celtic were interested in him. He was on quite a big wage. He was one of our biggest earners, and I thought, let's just get him off the wage bill. We can get 2.8 million for a 31-year-old. Why not try? And Celtic came, and there was a bit of negotiation. I think it's actually like 2.1 million with the rest being paid over the next 12 months. But again, benefit to us, that's fine. 2.8 million for a 31-year-old. He's not even worth that. He's worth 1.8. Happy days. Although that's dropped in value because he's in the lower league. I explain that in one of my tutorials that's coming on Sunday. And another lad that we brought in and John Buckley are out on loan as well. So in the end, we've brought Tom Rosenhall. Now, I'd done this video yesterday. I didn't know this guy's name. No idea where he's came from. Nonetheless, he came in on a free transfer from QPR. I probably brought him in quite early on. Ethan Hamilton comes in. He's one of the lads who we brought in that was released by a Premiership club. He was released by Man United. He's on loan at Barnet. Jack Thomas for 475k from Mansfield. Maybe not the complete player yet, but he's decent enough. 2-year contract. He's only on a 1-year contract initially. I didn't realise that. I've given him another contract already. Bags of potential and probably ready to be getting some first team football in the box to box role. I was scouting him for a large period of last season rather, and hopefully can do well. DG Buffonge is also in. He was released by Man United. Samuel Schauser was released by Spurs. He's in. Kel McFadden in from Burton for 450k. Experienced defender. Maybe not quite as physically good as what I would like, but he's decent, decent head aerial, decent in the air, and fairly average everywhere else. Will do us at least a season anyway. Jackson Irvine also in from Burton. He was sort of one of my top priority targets after I scouted the teams that were going down. I made him one of my top priorities. Very good in the air, which is nice, but not essential. Good positioning, great teamwork, great work rate, and decent everywhere else. Will be a good ball winning midfielder. It can also do box to box, which is nice, although the long shots do let him down and off the ball lets him down on that, so maybe not quite as good there. Still decent. Rob Holding comes in on loan, only paying him if he plays, and still half the money we're playing Charlie Mulgrew, so a decent signing there. Thomas Glover comes in on loan. He's just going to be a sort of competitive spot for David Rea, not paying a single penny. Happy days. Joe Riley, similar deal, not paying anything. A lot of these loans though, I offered first team football to by accident. I shouldn't have done that. Casey Palmer also in. He impressed me a lot when we played Sheffield Wednesday last season, so I decided let's go and give him a shot. 18 long shots, 18 free kick taken, 16 free kick taken, 15 determination, 16 flair. My sort of attacking playmaker, if you like. I would like to sign him full time, but he's worth 11.5 million. There's just very little chance of it happening. Ben Sheaf, I've mentioned him before in the Rangers say, for me he's the ultimate bench player. He's never going to get first team football, but on the bench he'll be absolute quality. As you can see, he can play in so many different positions. just why not? Lewis Doherty, we mentioned that he's out on loan at Clyde. His potential's dropped from when I scouted him. He's down to 3-star potential. My scouts were sort of saying 3.5 to 4-star. Nonetheless, he's an 18-year-old Scot that came with no compensation package, so worth the risk. Gillespie Prestia comes in, big, strong, aerial defender. Again, not world class. Ready for first team football with room to grow. He's 23, so he's probably not going to grow as much to that potential, but he's at the stage where if he comes in and gets game time, similar to what Liam Henderson maybe was last season, he can come in and do well. Ash Taylor's one that my scouts were very keen on me not to go for, and I looked at his stats and I went, he's decent, he's good enough. He's got 15 teamwork, 15 work rate, 15 tackling, 15 heading, 16 jumping reach, 15 strength, and 15 bravery. Anticipation and composure maybe let him down a bit. His passing lets him down. His position's not ideal and his marking's not ideal, but still decent enough. When you look at the key stats though, of the key stats is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of those are my light blue colour, which would be green. I changed it to light blue for the Rangers. I've kept it because we're at Blackburn as well, so it sort of suits the team. So a lot of the key stats for the positioning are blue. If we go to central defender, which is actually the role he'll play, he has orange concentration, orange anticipation. Let's drop him down slightly, but nonetheless, I'm still happy to take the risk for free. Brian Labissere, answer on a postcard how to pronounce this. Going to retrain him as an advanced midfielder in the attacking playmaker role. Advanced playmaker and attacking playmaker role, attacking midfielder role. Sorry, I'm completely messing up my words. Where I think he'll play sort of where Henderson played last season. I think he'll do okay there. It's the same sort of stats that you need. If we go to there, you can see he's decent enough. Some oranges, but again, he's 20-year-old. He's got time to grow, and he's not that. Well, he's not that far off when you compare him with the other guys we've got. He is quite a bit far off, but he's not disastrously far off. Theo Pellinard, 23-year-old Frenchman, again, got room to grow. He's at that stage where he needs to come and get first team football now to continue growing. He's fairly bang average, if I'm honest. A lot of yellows, no blues, some oranges, only one red, which is leadership, which isn't really that essential when we've got quite a lot of leadership in our team already. He comes in for free again from Bordeaux, and he will play the left wing back role. We've got Phil Ofsuo Aye. We're just going to rename him Phil, if I'm honest. You can already see the lag on my computer, by the way, so I'm hoping the recording actually works. He comes in from Bordeaux. No, he doesn't. He comes in from a team that I've never got to pronounce. Extremely good physically, maybe lacks a bit elsewhere. Again, only one red stat, which is long shots, which isn't really necessary. Not because a ball pass opponent is his only trait so far, which probably goes hand in hand with his pace and acceleration, so I'm happy with that. Reasonable strength, reasonable in the air, not fantastic. But again, he's a fullback, don't really need that. Okay tackling, okay going forward. Kenny Miller, a senior striker coming in, he's probably nowhere near good enough for this level anymore, if I'm honest. But he's got really good mentals and decent traits, so he can shoot our young players, and he can sort of compete with Jason Cummins in the advanced playmaker role. We've got Chris Hongo that can also play that role, and Boyce can play there if need be. Alex Bruce, again, really good defender actually for this level still, and an extremely good shooter. A lot of light blues here, a lot of reds as well, which isn't ideal, but red in corners won't be needed, red in crossing shouldn't be needed, red in free kicks shouldn't be needed, red in long shots, okay, that's not ideal, but again, he shouldn't be taking any long shots. Red in long throws, not going to be needed. Red in flare, probably not going to be needed. So there is bad stats. When you look at his good stats, are all in the key areas for what you need for a defender. 5'11" does annoy me a little bit, but again, an extremely good shooter and can offer support to the defenders we have. Jordan Clark comes in from Scunthorpe. He will rival Phil for that right wing back slot. Again, decent, sort of bang average player. Again, his two red stats are completely irrelevant. Penalty taken in corners, we just never give him a penalty or a corner unless it's an essential, basically. nowhere near as physically good as Phil, but maybe slightly better in other areas. Ryan Gould also comes in on loan, $2.5k per week that we're paying him, and he will sort of rival a number of positions. He can play box to box, he'll be able to do ball winning, he could probably do to an extent, maybe not quite good enough, but still could probably manage it, and can play the advanced playmaker role here as well to a degree, which is actually where I believe I'm training him. It's not, it's where I should be training him, because that makes sense. And the last one is Lord Bentner. Now, I wasn't actually going to sign him. I sort of joked about it at the end of last episode. When I was scouting, I made a sort of joke, and I genuinely had no interest in signing him. However, he's a target man, and we've got no players that can play the target man role apart from Liam Boyce. So I decided, well, why not look elsewhere? There was a lad that I tried to sign out to be a lot cheaper, a lot younger, similar ability, but it didn't work out because he couldn't get a work permit. So it sort of left Bentner as really the only affordable option. I had to make some adjustments. I also triggered a clause in Dara Linian's contract. They were paying us £1 million if he played 50 games. He's played 2. I explained my reasons for triggering that in the tutorial that will come out tomorrow. But overall, I think it was the right thing to do, was to trigger it. If you look at our finances, we've trimmed the wage bill down to $134,000 per week, and the transfer budget's down to $162 remaining. I made a slight adjustment of taking $20k out of the wage budget to make sure we could complete the Bentner transfer, just to give us that little extra income for that. But again, it wasn't too big an issue, and as you see, we're still 50k under our wage budget. So we've reduced the wage budget and increased the strength of the team. I've already selected my team for this game, my first team anyway. I've not selected the bench. We're going to go for Glover, Riley, because he can play both sides. We'll go for Alex Bruce on the bench. Pereira can play both the roles, so we'll take him. Gould can cover a lot of positions, so we'll take him. Kotongo and Bentner. So that's going to be our team with the bench. So our team starts with Ray and goal, McFadzean, Holding and Prestia in defence, Phil and Pellinard on the wing backs, which has now changed to a complete wing back. It was wing back last season. I didn't realise that complete wing backs bleeding the roles seems a much more logical choice. I don't really see much difference in them. Thomas and Irvin in the midfield, Palmer in the 10 role, and Boyce and Cummings up top. And we are playing Sheffield Wednesday. The game will probably lag quite a bit. I do apologise. Can we give him any number that's even remotely close? Okay, 24 it is. The game's going to lag a bit. I can only apologise for that. In fact, what I am going to do is actually, as soon as this loads, I'm going to go back out, go into preferences. I'll do it in front of you and just lower the graphics settings just to try and process it a bit quicker, because that makes sense to do. I'll do it in front of you so you know that there's no issues. But you can see even just my mouse moving there, so imagine your video is lagging, an absolute nightmare. Game status that I don't want. It is preferences. Preferences. Graphics quality very low. It's still saying I'm getting 3D 5-star graphics compatibility with my own board, so I'm not actually sure. Updating graphics seems to be helping. Already I'm getting a bit more mouse movement. Let's go back into the game. This one's for the fans, he says. Yeah, first game of the season, why not? There's a lot to come from you, and I believe you have it. What it takes is what I'm going to go for every single position. We're getting no real reactions though. Liam Boyce looks happy, someone seems motivated, and a couple of defenders looked happy as well. Again, I do apologise if your video is laggy. There's not really a whole lot I can do about it. I can maybe try recording in 3D in future, 2D. That's really the only option I can really think of. You can see the match engine looks a lot more blotchy with the settings down. I will get a new graphics card as soon as I can, but I don't want to stop uploading because there's been so much of this year where I have not been uploading, and I don't want that to be something that's sort of a factor in my YouTube channel. Rhodes has it. Bannon. This is a long opening highlight. I'm a bit worried. Niles. That's actually Maitland-Niles. Actually, I'm not sure what it's just coming up. Niles now. It was certainly Maitland-Niles that came up with on my Rangers save, but we'll remember him fondly. Palmer against the club he was on loan at last season. Jackson Irvine. Jack Thomas. It's a good ball to Cummings, but it's read easily. Rhodes fouls his man, and this long highlight will eventually come to an end. It was a nothing highlight. Pellinard. It's a decent ball over to boys. Can't win it. Palmer. Thomas. Casey Palmer. Back to Jackson Irvine. He's taking a dig. It's off the first sort of defender that was in the way. Minute in, and we're looking a bit better than what we did last season already. That's obviously going to be curse of this season, me saying that now though. Montero. I'm not actually sure we've improved the team a whole lot, but I feel the players we've brought in are going to suit the system more, and they're more my style of play, if that makes sense. Oh, that's a decent effort from Barry Bannon, but we'll take the goal kick. David Trias, obviously the sole survivor from previous. I've also went through all the set piece tactics and adjusted them, so hopefully that'll make a difference. But I think when I went through the league, we have the best aerial team in the league now. Certainly in jumping, we were the highest in the league, so that is a positive. Montero comes forward. So hopefully we can score a lot more goals from corners this year compared to last year. It's just gone wide. I thought that was going in. I'm struggling to get used to these graphics downgrade, to be honest. Why are our stands completely empty? I assume that they're not actually empty, and this is just part of the graphics reduction. Montero, Abdi, Ashley Maitland-Niles turns and shoots. Excuse me, I've got a blocked nose right now and it's doing my head in, and I'm just struggling to catch a bit of breath there. Bannon with the corner, and it goes Irvine away. Casey Palmer. Launch clear only as far as Poodle. Presta away. Boyce flicks on only as far as Lees. Bannon. Poodle. Montero. Abdi. Montero again. Back to Abdi. Montero. Pellinard puts it out for a corner kick. I'm really struggling with these graphics, guys. Let's go 2D because I think that's going to be much more enjoyable to watch right now. And we'll watch the goals and the replays of the goals in normal camera. So we'll go 2D. 2D classic probably looks a bit better than that. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I apologise we're in 2D, guys, but if it means the game runs smoother and it's actually better quality, then so be it. I hope you guys understand. That sort of initial phase of looking so much better is actually not looking much better now. Barry Bannon, it's over the bar. I can actually see what's going on now, so hopefully one, the quality's better for you guys, and two, I can see what's going on a bit better now. Bannon does his man. Abdi. Niles. Thomas is beaten. Montero is deflected. Rea with the big boy save. Feels weird actually commentating on a game again. Bannon. Irvine. Montero. Niles. and Deirdre with the save. Jackson Irvine and Jack Thomas both tiring quite a lot as well, which is a worry. The other issue that I meant to cover in this episode as well is Liam Henderson and Jason Cummings have both came to me saying, "Why are you pushing him, Rob? He's not even getting near the ball. Your teammates got it." Rob Holdens gave away a silly penalty, and Jordan Rhodes is quite prolific, and the keeper doesn't even move. So we're now bottom of the league, and our former player, of course, Jordan Rhodes, scores from the spot. Rhea, that's horrific, mate. Absolutely horrific. Not an ideal start for Rob Holding, the man that I sort of was really happy to sign as well. Give it another 15 minutes before I start making changes though. Montero brings it forward. So basically Cummings and Henderson both came to me saying we want new contracts, and I looked at what they were asking for. Cummings was about 11k, which I can negotiate down to a fee that I'm fairly happy to pay for him. So I said if he earns it, I will give him a new contract. He was happy enough with that. Liam Henderson instantly asked for 20k, and I tried offering him down to 14k, and he basically was like, nope, I'm not happy with that. I was like, right, whatever. So he's kicked off a fuss. He's only got a year left on his deal, so I'm trying to sell him on for the money we can get for him. I think his value was 5.5 million at the end of last season. It's down to 4 million because he's in the last year of his contract and he's unhappy, obviously. But I can't get any nibbles of interest from other clubs. Palmer, that's a good ball, and McFadzean away. Bannon, Montero. We live to breathe another day at 1-0. I'm going to bring off Casey Palmer for Ryan Gold. Not in the best of games, if I'm honest, so let's make that as our first sub, an attacking sub. Tony Pellinard's not having a great game either. Rob Holdens obviously having a howler because of the penalty that he gave away, affecting his rating. Overall, he's not got an awful rating, though, considering. Going to bring off Jackson Irvine as well for Martins Pereira. Just to freshen up. Martins Pereira, we're obviously brought in, he can play both the box to box and ball winning midfielder roles. Brought in last season, of course, through the board's request. It's frustratingly our best performing player today though. Montero. Rhea saves. Lee's at the back post. He's got time, but he's been closed down well in the end by Phil. Phil's got pace. He's got pace, he's got space, and he passes it and doesn't find his man. That's frustrating. Lee out to Poodle. I'm going to make one more sub. I'm going to bring on Lord Bentner. I don't think the strikers have really had any service, but at the same time, still frustrating. Boyce. It's a great ball over the top for Jason Cummings. Can he take a touch and finish it? He can! Liam Boyce's last touch of the game is going to be an assist. It's the first time either of our strikers have had any service, and it's came from each other. Boyce turns. Cummings times his run perfectly against the fullback, who's in no man's land. Gets a touch. The fullback can't cover across. The goalkeeper can't get there. Cummings gets his first of the season. Get in, Jason. I didn't show you your staff changes. I will do that next episode, guys. I'm really sorry. There might still be another couple to go, so I don't imagine there's going to be much more in the way of transfers unless Henderson goes. So I'll do the staff in the next episode. Most of it affects the youth team anyway, and I think like the likes of the sort of less important ones, like the, what's the word I'm looking for? Data analysts. Yeah. So it sort of affects there as well. But again, that's not really a relevant one, and it's not really that stat worthy. I actually picked our chief data analyst based on name. That's literally where I went. I just searched by Scottish nationality. Since I'm Scottish, I thought, let's go for a Scot, and went through them all. Bentner, heads on. Cummings, not really used to. Boyce, although he's decent in there, he's not as much of an aerial threat as Bentner. Probably didn't anticipate the run, the flick on, as much as someone that would maybe play with Bentner all the time expected. So that'll take a bit of time. Abde, Montero, Pudel on the overlap. Back into Abde, he's got space. Reach. It's a decent effort. Rea tips it wide. Bannon whips it in. McFadden away. Don't know how to pronounce that name as well, guys, so let me know. It's a great ball from Ryan Gold. If Cummings can bring this down, he does, and Liam Palmer's brought him over. I think he was covered, so it shouldn't be a red. It should just be a yellow. But a good cynical foul there by Sheffield Wednesday. In all honesty, Rhodes, Jones, Bannon, Rhodes. It's a decent trickler, but Rea is there. Forward, Bentner can't get there, holding away only as far as Abde. Palmer to Reach. Abde again, back to Reach. It's got Palmer in overlap if you can find them. That's frustrating for us, but it's kind of the nature of it. And Rea's positioning is awful there. Nobody closes him down. What is our defence doing? And Barry Bannon's just had an absolute easy finish from 25 yards or so. If you watch this ball there, our defence just stops dead. What is McFadden just stops. It doesn't do anything. It has to be him that goes and closes down because of the way that it is. He's too far across. Free kick deflected against the wall. And that's the end of that highlight. Can we get a late equaliser? It's played forward for Bentner. He flicks into Thomas. Martins Pereira. Phil. Bannon. Abde. Montero. Bannon. Abde. Martins Pereira nicks it away. Jason Cummings. Ryan Gold on over. Well, makes a run in behind. Still going Ryan Gold. Straight at Westwood. Maybe rushed that because of the fullback coming in back into position, but it's still frustrating. Bentner. Cummings. It's tackled away. Martins Pereira. Phil. It's a decent ball in, but nobody anticipated it. Luvens. Pudel. It's probably just an end of game highlight this now. It is indeed. I want to say we're unlucky there. We weren't. It's the reality of it. But still, I see positives in it, and I see that this team needs to gel, and hopefully when it does start to gel, we can do a bit better. Plus, we were better away from home than we were at home last season, so maybe there's hope in that. Just quickly go through these. Yeah, so as you can see, I've got a promise to Jason Cummings of a new contract, I think. It's not actually showing. Conversation history, you'll see. yeah, so basically there you go. And season ticket sales are through, gone up slightly from last season. What was the attendance for that last game? I just want to see if it was a glitch or if we just legitimately had nobody in the stands. 27,000, 5,000 away. So yeah, it had to have just been down to the graphics changes. Anyway, guys, that will end this episode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll come back for the Wolves game because it's the end of the window actually. Or do we do Hull away? Let's do Hull away since they were the team that got relegated. So we'll go at the end of the transfer window. I don't think there'll be too much to talk about in terms of transfers, but we'll do that anyway. And we'll go to the Hull game next. Nonetheless, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a like and subscribe is always appreciated, and I will hopefully catch you all next time.